Every time my parents visit me, they bring a bottle of vitamins. Take one every day, my mother says. They're special. They'll keep you healthy. I've been taking them for 3 years, small white pills in an unmarked bottle. Last week I started feeling strange, dizzy, forgetful. My hands would shake for no reason. My doctor ran tests. Everything came back normal. He suggested the symptoms might be medication-related. I don't take any medication, I told him, just vitamins my parents give me. His expression changed. Bring me those vitamins. I want to test them. I did. He sent them to a lab. 2 days ago, 3 police officers showed up at my door. The lab had reported the results. My vitamins weren't vitamins at all. And what they actually were would explain everything about my life. Everything I thought I knew about my parents. Everything I'd believed about myself. Stay with me. Because this story is about discovering the truth your parents have been hiding in plain sight. Before we continue, if you've ever questioned something your family told you, hit that subscribe button right now. Your support means everything to me. And comment below. Have you ever discovered a family member was lying about medication or supplements? Let's talk about it. Now back to my story. My name is Victoria Chen. I'm 28 years old. I live in Portland, Oregon, and work as a software engineer. 3 years ago, I moved across the country from my parents' home in Boston. It was my first time living far from them. I was excited, independent, ready to start my adult life. My parents, Margaret and Robert, weren't thrilled. They'd always been protective, maybe overprotective. Are you sure about this? My mother asked when I told them about the job offer. Portland is so far away. That's kind of the point, Mom. I want to explore a new place. But we won't be able to see you regularly. What if something happens? I'll be fine. I'm 25 years old. My father was quieter about it. If this is what you want, we support you. But I could see the worry in both their eyes. The day I left, my mother gave me a bottle of pills. What are these? Vitamins, special ones. They're a family recipe. Your grandmother took them. I take them. Now you should too. I looked at the bottle, plain white, no label, just small white tablets inside. What kind of vitamins? A blend of nutrients, good for immunity, energy, overall health. Take one every day. Why aren't they in a regular vitamin bottle? Because they're homemade. We have them specially compounded. Trust me, they're better than anything you'd buy at a store. It seemed weird, but I took the bottle. My parents were big on natural health remedies. This wasn't unusual for them. I started taking 1 pill every day, as instructed, and I felt fine, normal, maybe even good, more energetic, more focused. Every 3 months, like clockwork, my parents would visit me, and every visit, they'd bring a new bottle. Don't forget to take your vitamins, my mother would say. I haven't. I take them every day. Good girl. They're so important. After a year, I mentioned the vitamins to my doctor during a routine checkup. My parents give me these special vitamins. Should I tell you what's in them? What are they? I don't know exactly. They say it's a family blend, homemade. My doctor frowned. I'd prefer you take vitamins with clear labeling, so we know exactly what you're ingesting. They're just vitamins, though. My whole family takes them. Still, it's better to know exactly what you're putting in your body. But I ignored his advice. My parents wouldn't give me anything harmful. Years passed. I kept taking the pills. My parents kept bringing them. Then about a month ago, things changed. I started feeling off. Dizzy spells at work. Trouble concentrating. My hands would shake, especially in the morning. At first I thought it was stress. My job had been demanding. But it got worse. I'd forget conversations I'd just had, lose track of time, feel disconnected from reality. I went back to my doctor. I'm having these symptoms: dizziness, forgetfulness, tremors. He ran a full panel of tests: blood work, MRI, neurological exam. Everything came back normal. I don't see anything physically wrong, he said. Are you taking any medications, supplements? Just those vitamins I mentioned, from my parents. His expression changed. became serious. "Bring them to me. I want to send them to a lab for analysis." "Really? They're just vitamins." "If they're causing these symptoms, they're not just vitamins. Please bring them." I brought the bottle to my doctor the next day. He sent it to a pharmaceutical lab with instructions to analyze the contents. "How long will it take?" I asked. "A few days. I'll call you as soon as we get results." I went home feeling anxious. What if something was wrong with the vitamins? What if they'd been contaminated somehow? But I didn't think my parents would knowingly give me anything dangerous. 3 days passed. No call from the doctor. Then, on the 4th day, someone knocked on my door. I opened it to find 3 people standing there, 2 in police uniforms, 1 in plain clothes. "Victoria Chen?" the plainclothes officer asked. "Yes?" He held up a badge. "I'm Detective Marcus Reed. This is Officer Santos and Officer Park. Can we come in?" My heart started racing. "What's this about?" "It's about the pills you had tested. We need to ask you some questions." I let them in. We sat in my living room. I felt like I was in trouble, even though I hadn't done anything wrong. "The lab that analyzed your pills reported the results to us," Detective Reed said. "That's required by law when controlled substances are found." "Controlled substances? But they're vitamins." "They're not vitamins, Ms. Chen. These pills contain a compound called benzodiazepine, specifically a high dose of lorazepam mixed with a small amount of a drug called scopolamine." I stared at him. "What does that mean?" Officer Santos spoke up. "Lorazepam is an anti-anxiety medication, also used as a sedative. It's highly addictive. Long-term use can cause memory problems, cognitive impairment, and physical dependence." "And scopolamine," Detective Reed added, "is sometimes called devil's breath. It's known for causing suggestibility and memory issues. In some countries, it's used by criminals to manipulate victims." I felt like the room was spinning. That can't be right. My parents said these were vitamins. "Do your parents have medical training? Access to pharmaceutical compounds?" "My father is a research chemist. My mother is a pharmacist. But they said these were family vitamins." "Ms. Chen," Detective Reed said gently, "you've been taking powerful psychiatric medications for 3 years without your knowledge or consent. That's a serious crime. We need to ask, did your parents know what they were giving you?" I don't know. They said it was a family recipe, that everyone takes them." "Have you seen anyone else in your family take these pills?" I thought about it. "No, I haven't. They just said my grandmother took them, and my mother takes them." "We need to contact your parents. Ask them about these pills. Can you give us their information?" I gave them my parents' phone number and address in Boston. "We'll need to interview them. In the meantime, do not take any more of these pills. Stopping suddenly can cause withdrawal, so we're going to have a doctor contact you about safely tapering off." After they left, I sat alone in my apartment, trying to process what I'd just learned. My parents had been drugging me for 3 years with powerful psychiatric medications. Why? Before the police could contact them, I called my parents. My mother answered. "Victoria, hi, sweetheart. How are you?" "I need to ask you something, and I need you to be honest." "Of course. What's wrong?" "The vitamins you've been giving me. What's really in them?" Long silence. "Mom? They're vitamins. I've told you. I had them tested. They're not vitamins. They're prescription medications, lorazepam and scopolamine." I heard her breath catch. "You had them tested?" "Yes, and the lab reported it to the police. Why have you been giving me psychiatric drugs?" "Victoria, I can explain." "Then explain. Why have you been drugging me for 3 years?" I heard my father's voice in the background. "Who is it?" "It's Victoria. She knows about the pills." There was muffled conversation. Then my father came on the line. "Victoria, listen to me very carefully. Those pills are not what you think. The lab said they contain lorazepam and scopolamine." "Yes, they do, but not for the reasons you're imagining." "Then what reasons? Why drug your daughter without her knowledge?" "Because we had to. We had no choice. That makes no sense," Victoria, there's something about you that you don't know, something we've been managing since you were born." "What are you talking about?" My father took a deep breath. "You have a condition, a rare genetic condition. It causes extreme anxiety, violent outbursts, and in severe cases, psychotic episodes." I felt cold. "I don't have any of those symptoms." "Exactly, because of the medication. We've been managing your condition since you were 5 years old. The pills keep you stable. Without them, you'd be severely mentally ill." "That's insane. I've never had any mental illness." "Because we've been treating it. Victoria, do you remember anything from before age 5? I thought about it. My earliest memories were from kindergarten, around age 5 or 6. Before that, nothing. "Not really, but that's normal. Most people don't remember being very young." "Your lack of memories isn't normal. You had a severe psychotic break at age 4. You hurt yourself, hurt your younger cousin. You had to be hospitalized for 3 months. I would remember that. You don't because the trauma, combined with the medication, caused amnesia. We've been managing your condition ever since. The pills keep you functioning. Without them, you'd revert to that state. If this is true, why hide it? Why not just tell me I have a condition and need medication?" "Because knowing about it makes it worse. The stress and anxiety of believing you're mentally ill triggers episodes. We learned that during your childhood. The only way to keep you stable was to keep you unaware." "So you've been lying to me my entire life?" "We've been protecting you, giving you a normal life. Would you rather have spent your whole life knowing you're one missed pill away from psychosis?" I felt tears streaming down my face. "I don't believe you." "Look up your medical records. You were hospitalized at age 4 at Boston Children's Hospital. The records will show everything." "The police are going to contact you. They're investigating." "Let them investigate. We have documentation. We have medical justification. We've been following a treatment plan prescribed by doctors. Without my consent. You were a child when we started, and by the time you were an adult, stopping the medication would have been dangerous. We did what we had to do." I hung up. I immediately called Boston Children's Hospital. "I need to request my medical records from when I was 4 years old." They said it would take a few days to process. I also called my aunt, my mother's sister, the one with the cousin I'd allegedly hurt. "Aunt Lisa, I need to ask you something." "Victoria, how are you, dear?" "Did I hurt your son when we were kids?" Silence. "Why are you asking about that?" "So it's true?" "Victoria, that was a long time ago. You were sick. You didn't know what you were doing." My stomach dropped. "What did I do?" "You pushed him down the stairs. He broke his arm. But sweetheart, you weren't yourself. You were having some kind of episode. Your parents got you help immediately." "And I was hospitalized?" "Yes, for a while. When you came back, you were on medication. You've been fine ever since." "Did you know they never told me about this?" I assumed you knew. You were old enough to remember." "I don't remember any of it." "Oh, Victoria, I'm so sorry. I thought you knew." After we hung up, I sat in shock. It was true. I'd had a psychotic break as a child. I'd hurt someone, but why couldn't I remember? The medical records arrived 3 days later. I opened them with shaking hands. There it was. Admission records from Boston Children's Hospital. Age 4, psychiatric ward. Diagnosis, early onset psychotic disorder. Possible childhood schizophrenia. Treatment, various antipsychotic medications. Therapy, extended hospitalization. Notes from doctors describing violent outbursts, self-harm, hallucinations. And then, a discharge summary. Patient stabilized on medication regimen. Parents trained on administration. Follow-up required. The last entry was from age 7. Patient continues to show stability on current medication. Parents report no episodes. Memory of hospitalization appears suppressed, likely due to trauma and medication effects. Recommend continuing current treatment indefinitely. It was all true. Everything my parents had said. I had been severely mentally ill as a child. The medication had saved me, given me a normal life, but they'd lied to me about it for over 2 decades. Detective Reed called me a week later. "Ms. Chen, we've completed our preliminary investigation. And? Your parents have provided extensive medical documentation, hospital records, psychiatric evaluations, prescriptions from licensed physicians. Everything appears legitimate. So they're not in trouble?" "It's complicated. Technically, they should have informed you about your condition once you became an adult. Continuing to medicate you without your informed consent is ethically questionable, but legally, it's a gray area." "What does that mean?" "It means we're consulting with the district attorney. There may be charges, or there may not be. It depends on whether they can prove medical necessity and that informing you would have caused harm." "What should I do?" "That's up to you. You can pursue charges, or you can accept their explanation and continue treatment." "But Ms. Chen, I have to tell you, you need to make a decision about the medication soon. You've been taking it for 3 years. Stopping abruptly could be dangerous." After he hung up, I sat with that information. I called my psychiatrist. A new one, not connected to my parents. Dr. Sarah Kim listened to my whole story. Then she said, "I need to see all your medical records, from childhood and recent, before I can advise you." I sent her everything. 2 days later, we had a video call. "Victoria, based on your records, you did have a severe psychiatric condition as a child. The treatment your parents provided was appropriate for that condition." "So they were right to medicate me?" "At the time, yes. But here's what concerns me. There's no recent evaluation, no updated diagnosis, no reassessment of whether you still need this medication." "What do you mean?" "Childhood psychiatric conditions sometimes resolve, sometimes they're misdiagnosed, sometimes they were situational or trauma-based. You should have been reevaluated periodically to determine if you still needed medication." "But my parents said I'd relapse without it." "That's possible, but it's also possible you outgrew the condition, or that you need different medication, or a lower dose. Without proper evaluation, we don't know." "So what do I do?" "We need to safely taper you off the current medication while monitoring you closely. If symptoms emerge, we'll address them. But you deserve to know your true baseline, not the medicated version your parents maintained." "What if I really am mentally ill without the pills?" "Then we'll treat it, with your informed consent, with proper medical supervision, the way it should have been done all along." I started tapering off the medication under Dr. Kim's supervision. The first week was brutal. Anxiety, insomnia, physical symptoms. "This is withdrawal," Dr. Kim explained. "Your body is dependent on these drugs. It takes time to adjust." "What if this isn't withdrawal? What if this is the mental illness coming back?" "We're monitoring you. If I see signs of psychosis, we'll intervene immediately. But right now, this looks like normal withdrawal." My parents called constantly, begging me to get back on the medication. "You're going to hurt yourself," my mother cried. "You don't understand how bad it was before." "I'm doing this with a doctor. I'm being monitored." "You need those pills, Victoria. Without them, I get to choose my own treatment. I get to understand my own mind. You're making a terrible mistake." But I continued. Week 2 was easier. The physical symptoms faded. My mind felt clearer than it had in years. Week 3, something unexpected happened. I started remembering. Flashes of childhood, the hospital, the fear, the confusion, but also something else. Something my parents' version had left out. I remembered my father. Yelling. Always yelling. I remembered my mother. Cold. Distant. Critical. I remembered being a sensitive child in a harsh home. Not psychotic. Just scared. "Dr. Kim, I'm remembering things from before the hospitalization." "Tell me." "My parents were really hard on me. Demanding, critical. I remember feeling anxious all the time, scared of disappointing them." "And the incident with your cousin?" "I'm remembering that too. I didn't push him randomly. He'd been bullying me, pulling my hair. I pushed him away, and he fell." "So it wasn't a psychotic episode?" "I don't think so. I think I was a stressed-out 4-year-old who finally fought back." Dr. Kim was quiet for a moment. Victoria, I think we need to consider the possibility that you were misdiagnosed, that your parents pathologized normal childhood behavior because it was inconvenient for them. Why would they do that? Control. Some parents medicate their children to make them more compliant, easier to manage. That's horrible. It is, but it happens more often than you'd think. By week 6, I was completely off the medication, and I felt fine. Better than fine. Clear-headed, focused, myself. No psychosis, no violent outbursts, no hallucinations. I'd been drugged for over 2 decades for a condition I might never have had. I flew to Boston, confronted my parents in person. I'm off the medication, and I'm fine. My mother's face went pale. Victoria, it's too soon. The symptoms could still emerge. It's been 2 months. I've been evaluated by multiple psychiatrists. They all agree I don't have a psychotic disorder. I probably never did. That's not true. You were so sick. I was a scared 4-year-old in a stressful home, and you pathologized me instead of addressing your own parenting. My father stood up. We did what we thought was best. You did what was easiest for you. Medicating me kept me compliant, quiet, manageable. But it wasn't about treating an illness. It was about controlling me. We have documentation from doctors you selected who saw me at my worst, after you'd already convinced yourselves I was mentally ill. Did you ever consider that you caused my stress? They had no answer. I'm pressing charges, I said, for medicating me without my informed consent as an adult, for lying to me about my medical history. Victoria, please. I deserve to know the truth. I deserve to make my own medical decisions. You took that from me. I left their house, and I haven't gone back. The criminal charges are pending. I don't know if they'll result in prosecution, but I don't care about revenge. I care about the truth. I'm Victoria Chen. I'm 28 years old. I was drugged by my parents for over 2 decades. They said it was for my own good, to treat a condition I had as a child. But I've been off the medication for 4 months now, and I'm fine, completely fine. I don't have a psychiatric disorder. I never did. I just had controlling parents who used medication to manage me instead of loving me. If your family gives you medication, even vitamins, know what you're taking. Question it. Test it if necessary. Your body is yours. Your mind is yours. No one has the right to alter them without your knowledge. Not even family. Not even parents. Not even with good intentions. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Your support truly means the world to me, and don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. I love reading every single one of them. Each comment inspires me to keep creating stories for you. See you next time.